Hey everyone, and welcome back to Whoa or No, a review podcast on TV, film, music, food, TV, gadgets, and soon maybe even cars. This is Chad.
Bakit cars? We
Wala
can't
lang
even
kasi
go out. We can't
I
even
just
drive
want
to anywhere.
because I want a new car. My car's so
Oh,
old.
well. Well, point taken. But and this is VP. And for this week, unfortunately, it's not a car review namin. But in keeping with this very hot weather, we're
Yes.
reviewing a very hot man's new album. It's called Spaceman by Nick Jonas. We're reviewing the deluxe version. So, let's go. Let's press play.
Let's go to space. Let's go. All right, so yun nga. So we are reviewing Nick Jonas's newest album. It's called Spaceman Deluxe. So obviously, may lumabas na Spaceman lang before this one.
Mm.
So this has like the usual. It has bonus tracks. So what are your
Mhm.
first thoughts, VP, on the album?
Um, okay, let me start by saying that Nick Jonas's music to me has always been medyo 50-50.
Mm-hmm,
Like,
mm-hmm. Right.
hindi pa ako na-engage sa buong album niya fully ever. Laging select tracks lang.
Okay,
Laging,
but you're talking about ever since nag-solo siya.
yeah, ever since nag-solo siya. During his
Okay,
Jonas
okay.
Brothers time, that was my prime teenage fangirl years. So medyo
Right.
nasundan ko yun. But ever since nag-solo siya, parang it's always been select tracks. So ito ata yung first
Mm-hmm.
time that I really dived into his album ng buo and really listened through without skipping. Uh, first
Okay.
impression, first impression ko is I don't mean to be harsh, but I've heard this before. Yun yung
Mm.
like the first thought that came into my head, especially playing it in order. Like the
Okay,
first
okay.
few tracks pa lalo, parang this
Mm.
doesn't sound
Mm.
like a 2021 Nick Jonas.
Okay, okay.
Yun, that was my first impression. How about you?
Okay. Well, I was the one who recommended this to
Mm.
you for us to review. So, alam mo, mahirap din siguro no, for an artist these days. Lalo na siguro kung you're into that pop kind of like electronic dance kind of music
Mm.
na may tendency talaga na magkapare-pareho yung tunog and parang
Yeah.
wala nang bago. So kapag pinagtabi-tabi mo yung if you strip them off like the vocals, tanggalan mo yung vocals ni Dua Lipa, ni Ariana, ni Nick Jonas, ni Justin Bieber, and
Mm.
The Weeknd, makakatunog siya. It's the same chords, same arrangements,
Mm.
same chord progressions. So kasi ganun nga yung parang usong tunog. Remember the time
Yeah.
na ano? Remember the time na nauso yung tunog ng Chainsmokers?
Yes.
'Di ba? Yung
The
'di
like
ba?
ano yun, prime EDM era something.
Oo, ganun 'di ba? So there was a time na lahat naman ng music from any artist, ganun yung areglo, ganun yung arrangement.
Mm.
So I guess it's the same era these
Yeah.
days. Pwera na lang siguro kung you're like Taylor Swift who has a very distinct sound
Yeah, or like
na
meron talagang concept.
meron talagang
Oo.
concept. But these ones, yun. But I liked it because our last album review was Justin's Justice.
Justice, yeah.
Right. And you liked that. You liked that.
Mm.
But you liked that primarily because nga, di ba, her previous album was crap.
Eh. Oo.
'Di ba? Hindi maganda. Ako, I didn't
Mm.
like kay Justin kasi nga na parang for some reason pare-pareho yung tunog. Ito, yung
Mm.
Spaceman, yes, I've heard it before, but I didn't mind the pare-pareho. I didn't mind the
Mm.
pagka-pare-pareho. Like I heard a lot of The Weeknd in this
Mm.
album. More so
Yeah.
than Justin's kasi I remember when we reviewed Justin's, you mentioned na parang yeah, parang The Weeknd. Hindi ko masyadong narinig yung The Weeknd sa tracks na yun, sa album na yun. Pero dito talaga, there's a lot of like weekend vibes here sa album na to, which
So
I
you
didn't
you
mind.
got that impression.
I did
Mm.
also. But I didn't mind it kasi ako kasi a mark of a good album to me is when I can play it from start to finish, and when it becomes white noise, that means I don't mind it being there the whole time.
Mm.
But if I'm like annoyed, but if I'm like annoyed and papalitan ko talaga, I would go to my phone and papalitan ko yung album. That's when I know that it's not a good album. This one,
Yeah.
I was able to sit through it, and inulit ko pa, naka-repeat pa siya. Yun,
Mm.
those are my first impressions about
Okay.
it.
So how about like favorite tracks? Were there any that stood out for you? Kasi for me, like I'll start na.
Yes,
Yung
yes.
like again, listening to the first few tracks, I was medyo nag-lean towards disappointment na kagad ako. Kasi nga
Okay,
parang
okay.
I've heard this before. This is like it's not a very innovative sound. Parang ganon.
Mm, mm,
Pero pagdating sa track number 5, it's called Delicious.
mm.
Yon, I would say na parang
It picked
okay.
up na.
Oh, this song is delicious. And this is the
Okay,
kind of
okay.
sound siguro na I'm looking for just to differentiate yourself from this 2020s kind of funky R&B sound na parang we're all developing. Yeah, it kind of picked up
Right.
from there. Pero yun, yung mga sa akin ang top picks ko na tracks would be Delicious. That's number one kasi parang iba yung feel. It was
Mm,
still sexy, Nick Jonasy, parang panromansa kind of thing. Can I say
okay.
that? Pangromansa.
you
But
you already did.
but also very danceable and very enjoyable. Then yung next was Deeper Love, track number 8.
Mm.
Na yun, ganun din. Same feel, kind of made me want to own a mansion. Tapos nandun kami sa tabi ng pool and
Kayo ni Nick.
medyo whoever. But kung si Nick, why not? I wouldn't say no. Come on.
Yeah, yeah.
Diba? But yun, parang chilling next to the pool, tapos medyo may konting frisky, that kind of feels. And then, again, if it was Nick, I wouldn't say no. Tapos,
Okay. Ganun po ka-descriptive yung nakuha natin sa kantang yun, ha?
oo, exactly. I mean,
Ah,
I liked it that much. Tapos,
right,
next is track number 11 and 12, which is Nervous, and Selfish, the one with Jonas Brothers, yung kompleto sila. Um,
right.
yun yung mga standout tracks for me. Maybe because yun nga, it gave me a different feel. It didn't make me, feel like I've heard this before.
Mhm.
And there was a story to it. There was a flow. So, yun, appreciate ko yun.
We have a
How
lot
about you?
of similar stellar tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, apart from delicious and nervous and selfish, yun yung pareho nating tracks. I also like the
Mm-hmm.
first track. I like Don't Give Up on Us as much as it sounds like any other track na yun nga na parang 20 wait, parang nga siyang The Weekend. I didn't really mind it because I like kasi Nick Jonas's falsettos eh. I like it
Mm-hmm.
ever since Jealous came out. Like when Jealous came out, grabe yun. Every time ako nagja-jam sa banda sa bar, yun ang
Uh,
yun ang ano ko, yun yung gina-jam ko, Jealous, kasi parang
j-
this is right up my alley kasi kayang-kaya kong
uh,
kantahin. I love Jealous talaga. So, para siyang and Don't Give Up on Us is pretty much on the falsettos. Talaga ginamit niya yung falsettos niya. So that's
mm-hmm.
why I like it. But yeah, I like Delicious. I also like This Is Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
I like If I Fall. I like If I Fall because, like what I said, I like white noise music. And If I
Uh-huh.
Fall sounds like a track I would play if I would be driving out to the beach. Para siyang
Mm.
driving music. So ganun siya If I
Music,
Fall.
yeah.
Yes, I like Nervous and Selfish as well. Tapos, yung Too Drunk, it's not a stellar track for me, but it did remind me of Miley Cyrus's We Don't Stop.
Oh, I didn't get that masyado from it, but
Okay, so it will
mm-hmm.
remind you of We Don't Stop. Tapos, ano mo ba na parang I stopped yung tinigil ko pa yung Too Drunk and then played We Don't Stop to find out, to verify kung tama yung naiisip ko. And sure enough,
Uh-huh.
magkatanong nga silang dalawa. But,
We can't
yung Too
stop pala, by the way.
sorry, we don't
Ngayon
stop,
ko lang
lolo.
naalala din.
We can't stop pala. Sorry, Tito Edejo. Okay,
yung,
so,
oh,
we can't stop pala. So, magkatanong nga sila. But, I like the chill version of Too Drunk better than the original version. I like the
oo,
chill version.
actually.
Mas
Let's
maganda
let's
siya.
get into the deluxe extra tracks nga, no? Kasi these are
Yes.
remixes by Wendy Wang.
Yes. Yes.
Are you familiar with Wendy Wang? Because to be honest, I'm not.
Ako, ako rin hindi. Hindi, I'm not familiar with Wendy Wang. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
Kapatid ba siya ni Malu?
Yeah, but I thought magsasabi ka ng medyo class ng konti. Like, kapatid ba siya ni Alexander? Ganon. Hindi.
Hindi, hindi.
Malu. Like,
So yeah, I'm not
ano
familiar with
kinalaman? Sarap.
I'm not familiar with Wendy. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Actually,
ikaw, what did you
But,
what did you read up on her?
tinignan ko lang yung Spotify profile niya. Apparently, she has like a lot of remixes or parang mga ano nga, mga redo of some songs and mga official remixes to.
Mm.
So, yeah, I think medyo ano naman siya, baka up and coming or I don't know, not so sure. But yun, yung part of the deluxe album kasi 'di ba are two more tracks, Nervous and Selfish.
Mhm.
And no, I'm sorry, Selfish and Dangerous. And
Dangerous, yeah.
then three remixes or chill versions of Don't Give Up on Us, Too Drunk, and This Is Heaven. And
Right.
yun, just jumping back to your to what you mentioned kanina, yung chill versions actually of all three songs for me
Mm.
are way better than the original. Like
Okay, okay. All chill
malayo, far
versions
from.
of these three songs better than the original versions.
Yeah,
Okay.
for me at
Mas
least. Like
bagay. Kumbaga mas bagay.
oo. Like if this was the sound of the entire album, maybe I would be raving about it na.
Yeah.
But
Kasi
I get the
yung Don't Give Up on Us pa lang, 'di ba? Like the album opener. Sabi nga natin, 'di ba, parang The Weeknd ganyan. So, you
mm,
think the chill version kind of stripped it off of that sound?
yes, for me
Okay.
yes. Like
Okay.
yun nga, maybe I was looking for that sound more than what the album presented me. Maybe, just maybe, if, alam mo yun, medyo in-experiment niya yung album na to and made a chill version album rather than just a deluxe version.
Right, right,
Like,
right.
they kind of reproduced all of the tracks in a Wendy Wang way.
Mhm,
Wendy
mhm,
Wang way.
mhm.
Uh,
Wendy
di,
Wang Wei. Tunog siya,
uh,
tunog kalye. Wendy
Yun nga
Wang
eh,
Wei.
Wang Wei.
Oo. Oo.
Ganyan. Tapos hindi ka pwede mag-counterflow kasi Wang Wei lang siya. Ah,
Uy, pero maganda dumaan dun sa Wang Wei na yun kasi maluwang.
Maluwang Wei.
Yun.
Yun. Alam mo, this is starting to evolve into a different show. Charot.
You know what
De,
I
but,
love pala? I want to mention lang. I love
mm,
Selfish with the Jonas Brothers kasi every time they have a song, the Jonas Brothers, kasi ever since they
mm,
reunited again, I love their collaborations kasi parang
yeah.
lahat na sila nag-evolve. Siyempre nawala na sila dun sa teeny Jonas
Yeah.
Brothers era nila. Tapos
Mm,
nag-mature na talaga yung tunog. So Nick Jonas has that jealous jealous na vibe. Tapos
mm,
Joe is the frontman of DNCE. He also writes for
mm.
DNCE. So every time may collaboration sila na Jonas Brothers track, you expect it to be really nice kasi nga it's all like three different heads now working on one
Uh,
track. So ang
mm,
ganda-ganda lumalabas lagi, and I've always been a fan of DNCE as well.
mm-hmm.
'Di ba? So kaya
And
I love Selfish.
yeah, tas medyo parang yun, nag-fuse yung vibes nila together. Alam mo,
Mm-mm.
looking at ano lang, singit ko lang to real quick, looking at Nick Jonas' Spotify profile, I do remember na Nick Jonas had this album, yung parang first venture niya into doing solo back in
Mm.
2010. Meron
Mhm.
siyang Nick Jonas and the Administration, and this one I liked a lot.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is kind of like if Disney and Harry Styles of today had a baby, ito yun. This is how it would sound like. The
Oh.
Nick Jonas now though, mm, iba.
Okay.
It's way
Okay.
different. But
Anong
yun
album
lang.
cover niyan? Yung album na sinasabi mo na 2010. What's the album cover?
Um,
Yung black
it's
and white
Nick
ba yan?
Jonas. Oh, yung black and white with him holding a guitar.
O guitar. Yeah,
Very,
yeah. Yung curly pa yung hair niya. Medyo
oo,
curly pa yung
curly
hair
pa
niya.
yung hair niya. As in,
Okay, okay.
nagka-transition pa lang siya out of that very Disney vibe. Yeah,
Mm.
hindi, wala pa
Okay.
siya dun sa Miley I Can't Be Tamed era niya. Nandun pa lang siya sa Best of Both Worlds, ganon. Ito yung album
So
niya.
you like that album?
A little, oo. Kasi I think it had a more unique sound than
Mm.
Nick Jonas now. But
Okay.
I don't hate him naman. I do listen to some select tracks.
Okay. The
Yun.
Carrier single, no? I think the first single off of this is Spaceman. Siyempre, obviously
Mm-hmm.
Spaceman yung first track dito. I think Spaceman is the most the weekendy-ish sound of
Yeah.
all. Yun
Yes.
talaga yung parang it sounded like a weekend cover. Yun yung
Mm.
tunog niya. So, I get what you're trying to say na parang pare-pare. Meron bang is there a category name like, what kind of music is this? The Weeknd.
Um.
kasi parang, kasi for some reason, di ba, The Weeknd kind of created that sound.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
No?
still. I guess it's still R&B, more
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But alam mo these days for me like genres are very blurred na din talaga. But yeah, it's still R&B-ish with a little bit of like alam mo may rock and roll attitude, I guess you could say
Right,
that.
right.
Oo.
May edgy, may gaspang ng konti. Parang ganyan.
Oo. Oo, but
Okay.
it's still more R&B and hip hop. That sphere of
Mm.
sound.
I
Medyo ganon.
certainly, itong album na to, itong Spaceman, if I compare it to his last full album, if I'm not
Mm.
mistaken, yung ba yung may Jealous, tsaka yung may Levels?
Yung Oyata, the one with hindi. That was Jealous and Levels was in Nick Jonas X2 or times 2.
And the album before Spaceman was?
Was last year was Complicated. This one had yung Close with Dove Low.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Mas gusto ko yung album na yung the
Yung
one with
X2
Jealous
or
and
times
Levels.
2.
Yeah. Yun ang
Uh,
gusto ko. Yun ang
mm,
maganda yung tunog kasi I feel like it was a good mix of like
yeah.
very distinct yung songs.
Mm.
Like unang dinig mo pa lang, the melody sticks to your mind, and
Mm.
then you would malakas yung recall ng mga melody ng mga kanta nung sa album na yon. But this
Yeah.
one, I like it because it's bearable. Like what I said, it's white noise. Pero you need to listen to it a few times for the melody to stick and for you to realize na, oh, they
Mm.
are different songs.
Mm.
Parang ganon. They are different songs. Pero yun nga,
Uh,
magkakalapit siya. And I agree with Delicious. I agree na from Delicious onwards, it kind of picks up the pace na. Kasi nga
yeah.
from Don't Give Up on Us to Drunk, medyo nandun lang siya, medyo nasa gitna lang siya. It's not fast, it's not
Mm.
slow, it's not exciting, it's just really there in the middle.
Mm.
Pero umakyat ng energy from Delicious onwards.
Yeah. And you know what I think dito sa album na to? Yung start niya, which is the first four tracks, I feel like this would do well in like a frat boy house party setting where
Mm-hmm.
sila yung mga medyo the good boy kind, not the wild party kind. Yung everyone's
Mm.
just kind of chilling, having their own side conversations, but still getting very drunk and may outbursts here and there. But it kind of has that vibe.
Hindi yung
Pero,
rowdy frat boy, beer
oo.
kegs and whatever, hindi ganon.
Mm, More
Okay.
like privileged, rich, white boy, Ivy League school dorm thing.
Okay,
parang
okay,
parang
okay.
Pinterest search term. Pero yun, ganun medyo may ganung vibe siya. Like the ones you see in like teenage coming of age movies. That kind of deal.
Honestly, that's my kind of party.
Really?
Yeah, that's my kind of party. Kasi nga, I don't like, alam mo, kahit mga bars, when I was
Mm.
younger, I never liked bars yung you need to shout at each other para magkarinigan kayo.
Yeah.
I never liked bars like that kasi it strains my
Mm.
voice. Mas gusto ko yung bar na madilim na kapag inuman kayo, pero nakakapagkwentuhan pa rin kayo kahit may music.
Yeah.
Yon, mas
Yeah.
gusto ko yung ganun. So that's
Ako
my kind
din.
of
I'm
party.
I'm more of the kwentuhan type, but I've been here and there, and oh my god, I miss going out to
I
drink.
know. Remember that place we went to, 77?
Yeah.
'Di ba? It's very chill
Chill,
and yeah,
exactly.
chill lang talaga makakapagkwentuhan ka. So yeah, so that's
Oh,
what I like.
ayun, I think that those kinds of places could play this and have that
Yes.
perfect vibe, especially in
Right.
first few tracks.
Mm-mm,
But
mm-mm, mm-mm.
yun lang, no, I guess nakulangan lang ako ng kasi after the first four tracks, pagdating sa Delicious, may konting crescendo, but then walang peak.
Walang peak.
Oo,
Yeah,
parang
walang peak.
umanon lang ng konti. And then, it just kept going up. But then, the next thing you know, tapos na yung album.
Yes, yes,
Oo.
yes.
'Di ba? Parang hindi siya nag-wave or hindi siya bumaba or it didn't
Mm-mm.
really find a peak. It just kept going up. Parang COVID cases sa Pilipinas. It's just there. Hindi pa siya nagre-resolve. Parang
Hindi
I'm
pa.
waiting. Oo. I was waiting
Oo.
for that.
Pero yung yung like the way you liked the stellar tracks, 'di ba? Sabi mo Delicious, Deeper Love.
Mm.
Deeper Love is the one beside the pool, right? Yun, 'di
Yeah,
ba?
oo, oo.
Okay. So Delicious, Deeper Love, Nervous and Selfish, 'di ba? Yung
Mm.
mga apat na yun na gusto mong yun, was it really good na did it stick out like a sore thumb from the whole album? Hindi naman.
It did, but not in a bad way.
Not in a bad way.
Oo, it did kasi like the first time I played it, like a couple of days ago when you told me na we were gonna review this, yun din kagad yung parang, well, I was listening to it in the background habang nag-work. Yun yung times na parang, ooh, I like this, I'm gonna check the title. Parang
Mm,
it elicited that kind of reaction from me as opposed to the
right.
other tracks na, sige,
Right.
hayaan mo lang siya mag-play.
Yung dumaan lang, oo.
Oo, oo. But then,
Mm.
yun nga, nag-stick out siya, but not in a bad way. It really like kind of um, was unique from the rest of the album. Enough for me to even want to
Grabbed your
know.
attention talaga,
Oo,
right?
oo.
Okay,
Yun.
okay. All
But
right, okay.
ikaw ba, like, do you feel like there are tracks na medyo not, are not supposed to be here? Or parang hindi bagay?
If you were to if you were to think na the whole vibe nga of the album is kind of like chill lang na the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
na no heavy vocals masyado, walang birit, walang whatever, and puro bulong-bulungan school of singing yung nagaganap, 'di ba? So,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Selfish was kind of out there. It was kind of like it kind of popped out the album na
Mm-hmm.
parang hindi siya bagay dun sa buong tone ng album. At least Selfish lang for me. Kasi yun
Mm-hmm.
nga I feel like it kind of felt like I need one more track for the deluxe album. What do we
Mm-hmm.
have, Joe? What do we have? Do we have anything we could put in the album? Tapos sabi niya, ito gamitin mo. Nagtagalog si Joe. Ito gamitin mo itong selfish. Ito gamitin mo itong selfish. Di ko na gagamitin to. Masigip na yung bagong album ng DNC. Gamitin mo na to.
Oo.
Sige.
Tapos, patungan mo na lang yung ibang vocals yung sa'yo na.
Oo. Tapos sabi ni Nick, sige, okay lang ha. Sige, lagyan ko ng bagong stanza para maging Nick Jonas and the Jonas Brothers. Ganon.
Oo.
Parang ganon. Yun lang.
Okay,
That's
gets.
how it felt like na it sounded like it was an afterthought. But yeah,
Mm.
because na pabayagan mo na lang dahil mga kapatid niya yon, syempre kasama naman
Mm.
si Ang weird nga nakakatawa, 'di ba? I don't think it makes sense. It says selfish with the Jonas Brothers because the Jonas Brothers is including Nick.
Oo.
So it should have said selfish with Kevin and
Yeah.
Jonas. Parang
Oo.
ganon, 'di ba? So yun lang.
Baka ano daw, like, they did the track in the capacity of being the Jonas Brothers. Parang gano'n.
Oo, parang ganon, parang ganon. O
Ah,
yun. So, sige, give your verdict na for Nick Jonas's Spaceman Deluxe
okay.
album.
Sige. So, ito lang, hindi ko lang na-mention kanina, but I was really planning on putting this as part of my verdict. What Nick Jonas said about Spaceman or Spaceman Deluxe, na parang this album daw thematically explored the themes of distance, indulgence, euphoria, and commitment. Hindi ko na gets yun.
Hindi mo na gets yun.
I feel like songwriting wise, a lot of it was kind of buried by the way it sounded. Parang
Okay, okay.
it was too chill and relaxed to make a statement or to know, para halungkatin ko yung meaning ng every song. I
I
think
read
it
that
wasn't
somewhere
that.
yung minention mo
Yung
kanina, parang yung minention,
uh,
ano yung apat na yun? Sorry? Ano yung apat?
this distance, indulgence, euphoria, and commitment.
Yun, yung apat na yun, apparently,
Mm,
you know how it is, di ba, kapag may bagong album,
yeah.
most press people, they have a sneak peek into it para makapag-review sila
Mm,
ng maaga, di ba? Para pag-launch ng album, may review na. So, kasama pala
mm,
talaga yung apat na yan. So,
mm,
may nabasa akong review na the whole album talaga was kind of like themed, like parang may apat na theme siya. I don't know if
mm.
every 4 tracks or every 3 tracks, pero yun yung order na sinabi mo kanina. And
Oo.
one review I read about that is medyo fail nga din daw na parang, talaga, yung pala yun. Na
Yeah.
themed, may themed pala. I didn't really get that from the
Mm,
songs. Yun,
mm.
yun. Same
Yeah,
sentiments.
maybe like if it was framed more of like a chill, you can stay home and party kind of vibe, then that could have made an even better statement than bigyan pa natin ng meaning. Yon. But overall, it's an enjoyable listen. I would like there are certain moods siguro na I would play it, and
Yeah.
yung 4 tracks that really stood out for me could end up in my playlist if if it grows on me enough. But there's just too much of the album, I think, na medyo mm,
One
okay lang.
tone. One. Yeah,
Oo.
yeah.
One note.
Okay.
So parang
Uh,
kasi 'di ba if ano din like if you compare to a conceptual medyo one notish album, like let's say Taylor Swift's Folklore and Evermore. Very
yeah.
one note siya, but it's thematic and iba yung may nuances in sound that
Mas ano
and
lang,
story.
mas solid lang yung konsepto. Mas
Oo,
solid.
kumbaga
Oo.
na-realize ito hindi medyo hilaw pa siya for me, although I like the way it sounds.
Right,
Pero
right.
masyado pang hilaw siya conceptually.
Oo.
Like hindi mo pa siya masasabi na this is Nick Jonas nga.
Right,
Parang
right.
ganon. So,
Okay.
yun. Um, final verdict, wasn't able to convince myself enough to give it a wow. So it's still a no for me. But yun nga, may mga siguro if we're doing track by track, may mga wow tracks. And those are
Okay.
yung 4 ko. But the rest is no. So out of 16, apat still a no.
Do you
Ikaw?
think do you think Nick
Hmm.
Jonas has found his sound? Like ever since, because I really think na kahit na nagka-album na siya na solo yung minention mo nga kanina 2010 album, I think
Hmm.
he really made his mark as a soloist na, as a grown up, as the new Nick Jonas,
Hmm.
the hunky guy he is now, from yung
Hmm.
Jealous talaga, yun ang nagmarka. And then
Yeah.
on, 'di
Yeah.
ba? Do you think Nick Jonas has found his sound already or it's still up in the air?
Parang yeah, it's still out there somewhere. Kasi parang
Okay.
um not to sound like a feminist hub, but some female pop stars or even like some males, um meron talaga silang development of their own sound na kahit na
Mm.
nag-iiba-iba from one album to the other, you still kind of have that signature kasi fully
Right.
realized yung concept,
Mm,
'di ba?
mm, 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 mm,
This one kasi talaga parang hindi. It could be anyone, and
mm,
yet
mm.
parang, you know, parang if we were listening to it sa radyo siguro, hindi ko pa mapo-point out na, "Oh, that's very Nick Jonasy." Parang gano'n. Not
Right,
like
right.
when we say, "This sounds like very The Weeknd." Gano'n. So,
Yes,
ayun, I
yes,
think
yes,
yun yung
yes.
point when you could
Mm,
say
mm.
na ano, you could say na na-realized or nahanap na niya yung sound niya.
Right. I think kasi what separates uh albums like this and albums ni Taylor Swift is really successful, like effective storytelling. That's the difference kasi with
Mm.
Taylor Swift. I know Nick Jonas also writes his own songs, but
Mm.
si Taylor kasi storyteller siya eh. So kahit na
Yeah.
anong ilabas niyang album, solid na solid yung konsepto. Kahit na sabihin mo
Mm.
nakakaantok, kahit na sabihin mo ganyan, ano talaga siya, may progression. Alam mo na parang, alam mo na, it literally is like a book, like it's chapter 1, chapter 2. And you know,
Mm.
when you're listening to the album in order, alam mo na patapos na yung album. Yung ganun
Yeah.
ba? Ganun ka-solid magsulat si Taylor. And I guess some songwriters should would develop that knack in storytelling siguro as they go on na lang siguro, but hindi
Mm.
ko lang alam kung may mga lalaking ganun magsulat. I don't know if it's a guy thing na may
Mhm.
talagang may story na tipong like courtship, relationship, nag-away. Hindi ko alam kung kung very babae ba 'yon o may mga lalaki din na ganun din magsulat. I'm really not
Uh-huh.
sure. But yeah, I get it. I get how this is kind of all over the place.
Mm.
Hindi successful yung apat na themes na he wanted to have. Apparently, it was
Mhm.
ordered in that way, but it's not that evident from the songs. Maybe
Yeah.
from the title, but I think hindi lang match yung title dun sa theme
Oo.
nung kung anong category siya nag-fall in. But
Mm.
it's not, I definitely like it a lot more than Justice.
Mhm.
I liked it more than Justice. I like Nick Jonas ever since he released Jealous and Levels. I've always liked him. But yeah,
Mm.
even without the stellar tracks, I would still play this because yun nga, it's bearable. Even if there are a lot of the weekend vibes in this, at least
Mm.
parang ano siya, it's a solid interpretation of that sound. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, hindi siya markado na tipong pag narinig mo sa radio, hindi siya yung tipong si Nick Jonas yan. Hindi rin
Yeah.
ganon. Si Justin kasi at least may marka na yung boses. Alam
Mm.
mong si Justin Bieber yung boses eh. Alam mo si Taylor Swift, alam mo si Ariana. Si Nick kasi meron tendency maging generic yung boses niya. So you don't
Mm.
really know if it's him or not. At
Mm.
least si Joe, medyo alam mo pa. Si Kevin, medyo alam mo pa. Pero si Nick, parang, to tell you honestly, hindi nga match yung boses ni Nick sa katawan niya
Yeah.
eh. Di ba? Ang
Parang
liit-liit ang, di ba? Ang liit ang
oo.
boses niya eh. Yung
Medyo
boses niya
manipis.
parang dapat kay Kevin. Parang dapat kay
Oo.
Kevin Jonas yung boses niya. But anyway, I like I still like the album, and to me it's a wow for me.
Okay.
For Nick Jonas's
Mm.
Spaceman. Yes.
Ayun.
Yon.
So, yeah,
Yon.
it's a woe for Chad, it's a no for me, but definitely it's still up to your music taste, guys. Yung manikinig, kayo bahala. If, it's your thing, then well and good. But if you have heard of Nick Jonas's Spaceman, either the original or the deluxe version. Do let us know what you think, if it's a whoa or a no for you, on our socials on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Whoa or No Show. That's WHOAORNOSHOW. So, we can talk about it. And maybe there are other albums that you want to suggest. Go ahead and message us there.
Right. And you can check out this episode and, of course, our previous episodes. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. And you can also check out the episodes on the website of the Bunk Collective. Aside from us, there are a lot of other awesome shows on there
Mhm.
under Bunk Collective. So go check them out. But ours will be on the bunkph.com/whoa or no show. And if you love us, send us some virtual hugs and
Yes,
kisses by
please.
supporting us through Patreon so we could
Mhm.
buy more burgers.
Or
Yes.
milk tea, gano'n. Or pambayad
Uh,
sa Spotify. Basta
Pambayad sa
anything.
Spotify Premium.
Oo, oo. Kasi medyo mahal. Charot.
Medyo
Yeah, but
mahal.
but thank you so much for listening. Do support us and even subscribe to our YouTube channel. A subscribe or a follow, a like goes a long way. So if you can, please do anyway. Yeah, and thank you
Right.
for
And
listening and watching.
right. And aside from that, VP, because we already have video, this is like a huge advantage for brands now, because now when we talk about stuff, when we talk
Anything.
about gadgets, toys, when we talk about especially something very visual like food or drinks, we could show everyone the size and how it looks like, the
Mhm.
color, the depth, yung how heavy it is, and you could see if we liked it sa mukha pa lang namin. So hindi kami
Yeah.
pwede magsinungaling.
Bawal na. Walang takas to. Ganon.
Walang takas to. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening again, and we'll hear you and see you on the next one. This has been Chad.
And this has been VP. Bye. Till the next one.
Bye, guys. And if you like this video, please don't forget to click the thumbs up button below and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And don't forget to check out all of the other shows at the Bunk Collective YouTube channel and go to patreon.com/thebunkph to show your support.